You have, I guess, injury announcements.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we had a couple guys last week. With Cam was non-contact, kind of just a freak deal, and you're heartbroken anytime anybody gets hurt. And but he'll come back stronger. I feel really good about our depth there, and I know those guys will be ready to step up and pick up the flag and charge on. But you feel for him and Zach. You don't want to ever see anything happen, and they're both kind of somewhat freak deals. So outside of that, we're doing really well. But that was obviously disappointing.
Coach, I heard you say something in practice the other day. It's like we're all wrong or all right.
Yeah.
Is that it? What is that?
Well, yeah. I mean, like anything, right? We're installing a ton of scheme, and it's okay if we're all on the same page and we're all wrong. Then we're all right, if that makes sense, right? If we have 10 guys operating with the wrong call and one guy saying this call should have been apples, now we're playing 10 out of 11 football. And so, just be decisive, make a decision. Don't worry about being perfect. And if we're all wrong, then we're all right and we'll get it corrected. So just trying to make it as simple as we can when you're out there playing.
Do you have a number one quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, if we're right now, we feel really good about the group. First of all, I think the competition's been outstanding. But Hunter Johnson's going to be our starter in the opener, and look forward to watching him take the reins. He's been through a lot while he's been here in our program. And Andrew and Ryan and the whole group, I really have been impressed. I really like our depth, and so we'll see how things unfold with the guys behind Hunter. But Hunter's our starting quarterback as we go in the opener.
Anything about that take you? I mean, obviously it didn't develop like that. It developed slowly, but did anything about it take you by surprise?
I just think the whole group was really competitive. This wasn't like a huge separation, between Hunter and Andrew and Ryan. I think Andrew and Ryan are really going to push Hunter. Number one, is a great teammate to help him, but then also be prepared because that's, I think, their mindset, what they've done, Andrew's whole career, and then, Ryan since he's gotten here. And and we've got some young guys that I think have had really good camps too. So I feel great about the depth, and I'm really proud of Hunter with everything he's been through to step up and earn our starting job.
What has the intervening time since the last time he took a crack at it done for him?
Yeah, I think it's been a challenge. I think he's been through a lot, and I think he's grown, and I think he's learned a ton. And when he's confident and he lets his talent go out there, it's as good as we've had, and that's our job, my job, Jake's job, the offensive staff, to make sure we put him in the best position to be successful. And it's like I said, this has been really close, but as we get ready for the opener, Hunter's our starter, and we're excited about it.
Did you have to at some point really kind of pick him off the mat, have a conversation with him to keep him going?
Yeah, I think last year was a little bit of a challenge. Peyton came in and did such a good job, right, and played at an all Big Ten level, maybe not first team, but still at an all Big Ten level, and that was a credit to Peyton. And I thought Hunter, again, Andrew, the whole group were good teammates. So that's what I'm really proud of. And if history is anything, they all need to be ready, right? And again, with Zach's injury and Cam's injury, everybody's got to be ready to play. And I know those guys will continue to develop and grow.
I have two other questions. I don't want to ask.
Yeah, you're on fire. Let's go.
I'm not trying to do that. Does anybody else want to do that? Okay. Thanks. I'm thinking of your 10-win seasons. I think 12, 15, 17. How does it just look different now as you look at the practice field on 2 weeks out?
Yeah. I think confidence. I think especially 2 of the last 3 years to win the West, we've got a lot of veteran guys that have been through what it takes to get that done, and they're doing a terrific job leading. So I think that's number one. We got to get consistent quarterback play. If we get consistent quarterback play, we've been pretty good. When we've been inconsistent, that's kind of a hallmark at any level, but let alone the collegiate level for some challenges. So that's going to be important. And then we've got to take care of the ball and take it away. When we've been really, I think, successful protecting the football and taking it away, we've been at a championship level. So I think those 3 ingredients. And then, we've recruited well. So our depth is in a good spot. You don't ever want to have injuries. You just know they're going to happen, but you just don't ever want to have them. And, I like where our depth's at going in.
And lastly, for me, I'll tee myself up here, but did 34 vote media poll heading in,
Yeah.
the team that won the West 2 of the last
Sure.
3 years gets 0 first place.
Sure.
Why does that always happen? Or, that sort of thing with Northwestern.
Yeah. You talking about with the AP?
I'm talking about I think it's Cleveland.com, but it's a Big Ten media poll.
Yeah.
And there were 34 first-place votes. They all went to Wisconsin or Iowa.
Yeah, that's pretty typical, I think. You know, when you look at, you know, your quarterback, you know, we have a new quarterback, so I think that's a factor in probably people's minds too. I think you look at returning production, that sometimes gets a little bit skewed. And then, you know, 3, maybe some clickbait. I don't know. You know, who knows? But yeah, we worry about what we can control, and it's not how you start; it's how you finish. And if you want to get respected, you got to put it on tape, and you got to do it. And each year and each team is different. And I'm excited, you know, these last 2.5 weeks to get ready for the opener to play on Friday night back in Ryan Field. You know, excited for that. But yeah, we're going to worry about what we can control. Yeah, thanks.
What's been the biggest challenge this fall camp compared to other years, specifically getting everything in line?
I still think we're in the, you know, the pandemic era, right? And so we still have some challenges that way. Getting used to being here the whole camp and not going to Kenosha is a little bit different. You know, this week we would typically be up there. So, you know, making sure we don't get monotonous and don't get kind of in a rut will be, you know, my challenge the next 2 weeks. And I think we've got a pretty good plan for that. And then, you know, I think most importantly, we've had really nice warm weather. And I think that's been really challenging. I mean, it's been a really productive heat campaign. Like we've had a battle of the elements, and I think that's been really productive for our team.
What is the plan for keeping them from getting in a rut?
Yeah, that's for me and up my sleeve. I'll leave it at that. But we got a lot of work still to do too, though. We got a lot of work, and we'll put that work in appropriately. But still, we'll find times to have fun.
Coach, guys like to talk a lot of practice, get in each other's faces, that kind of thing. Is that a newer thing, or has that always been like that since you've been here?
Yeah, yeah. How many practices have you been to, Fitz, in your career?
Decent amount.
Yeah, we talk pretty. I mean, we have fun. I mean, I think that's the difference. You know, none of the things that our guys are doing are personal. It's all in fun and jest, and you know, it's creating a thick skin. You know, you talked about how many votes we got. I mean, if you're sensitive, you'd be upset about that. Here, it's just kind of the norm. So, I think our guys love competing. I think they love competing against each other, and in an environment that, you know, kind of raises everything up. And then you get to game day, and you know, you're not distracted by it when it happens, because it's going to happen. So I think our guys handle it pretty well. But it's all in jest. It's all in good fun. And if not, then I'll put a stop to it. But it's usually all in good fun.
Fitz, how big is it to have a guy like Evan Hall ready to step in with Cam going down?
Yeah, I mean, that's again goes back to recruiting, right? And Evan's been, you know, if I were to tell you going into the year it was 1A and 1B, you guys would be like, well, whatever. I mean, it is. I mean, both those guys were ready to be the lead back, and I don't think Evan would ever want it to happen this way. But nonetheless, he's ready to go, and we're really glad that Andrew's here, and same thing with Trey Tyus. I mean, you got, I think, 3 really talented guys that are going to help us. And, you know, you felt spectacular about our depth with 4, and you feel really good about it with 3. And then we'll have some alternative plans if necessary.
With Samgoop Miller coming back, how much did it help them through your starter back? And did he just hit the ground running when he came back, or did it take him a little bit to get
Yeah. Well, football-wise, you know, mentally he was in a great place. You know, physically, when you get that type of break, you got to get back in shape, and he did a terrific job. Yeah, I mean, that group up front is going to be really important for not only the opener, but for the whole season. And we're really trying to create as much depth as we possibly can in that room. And, you know, again, I keep bringing it up, but I feel really good about our depth, and that's one of the positions I feel really good about it.
A couple of years ago when Hunter played, it seemed like one of the biggest challenges he had on the field was taking care of the football. Where have you seen him improve in that area?
Well, I think it's hard in practice, right, to you know, simulate that as much as we'd like, but we try to put him in as much adverse situations as we can situationally, and I think he's handled that well. I think if you were to ask all of our quarterbacks, they'll tell you they should take care of the ball better in practice, right? I mean, I think they've got a high standard, but just learning from each experience, right, and making sure you're taking care of the ball, understanding the situations, and kind of rolling from there.
And 2 years ago, Hunter and TJ kind of went down to the wire with who's being the guy.
Yeah.
Has telling Hunter this early, like, you're the guy, is that something you learned or a change, or did he just win the job much earlier this time than he did before?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been different with each quarterback battle that we've had. You know, sometimes I've told the group well in advance before I've told you guys. You know, I've been attacked for that. You know, so I've made sure to fix that to make sure everybody feels okay. So I'm a kinder, gentler guy. But no, I mean it's, you know, Jake and I have been talking about our plan. You know, we kind of looked at a 2-week into camp decision, and then you know really make sure we're doing everything we can with the other 2 guys to make sure that they're ready too. And it's not like. And same thing last year with Peyton. It's not like you're our starter and the other guys just go watch. So it's college football. You got to have multiple guys ready at every position, and we'll continue to do that. But I've just handled each time this has happened on a case-by-case basis.
What was the moment you knew that it was going to be Fitzgerald?
Yeah, no, well, yeah, right. I don't think there was any epiphany. I just think it was one of those where, you know, we took a look at the metrics. We took a look at where things were at. And then, you know, we made a decision on who we felt could, you know, lead us to win a Big Ten championship. And, you know, as we go here in the last half of camp, that's Hunter Johnson. And so we're excited about his leadership and his playmaking ability. And it's our job now to put it all together and get ready for the opener.
Anything else?
All right. Appreciate everybody being here. Thanks a lot. All right. Great to see everybody. Thanks. Go Cats.